And a very good evening to you all from a pretty murky and hot United Kingdom. Welcome. My name's Colin. I am tonight's presenter for Back to the Future Trading. Michael's on holiday. We've got stacks in this room. Fantastic. Yeah, I should introduce myself really. My position within Back to the Future Trading is that Ron asked me a year ago if I'd run his pro room for a couple of weeks, and I've been doing it ever since. So that's really why, in the absence of Michael, he's on holiday. I think a well-deserved holiday for him, doing these webinars for week in, week out for a long, long time. So that's really why I'm here. David, who some of you will know, will be on later on. So let's have a show of hands for all of you who've got the software. How many in the room have got the software? Okay. Anybody else? Come on, I've got 300 people in here and I've only got 13 who've got the software. Hey, Tim, that's exactly how I feel. Good man. Would not trade without it. Wow, what better endorsement can we get than that? Yeah, Larry, it takes time. It takes time. So, okay, guys, this is the first time I have had to manage so many screens at once, okay? Running the room for Ron is one thing. Doing this is another. So please forgive me in advance for any unforeseen, dare I use the word, cock-ups that may happen with flicking between screens. I can tell you a bit about my journey with Michael and Ron, who I've known for many years now. Tell me who in the room is on the verge of buying the software, and why, or what's holding them back, or where you're at on your journey. Earl, good evening. Missed you earlier on today. I called the sell on crude and was in at the top. Moved my stop too quickly, got stopped out for 20 points, and it went off and ran for another 100. Happy days. Okay. Wow, this is a very, very well attended room. Welcome to all of you. I'm going to crack on and get started. My name's Colin. I'm speaking to you from the United Kingdom. Michael is on holiday, a well-deserved holiday, and he's asked me to talk to you a little bit, about what we do. Some of you know, some of you have seen the presentation before, some of you don't. So I will take you through it slowly, and maybe we can all learn something. If you've got any questions, just pop them in the box. You know the score. Back to the Future Trading. I first got involved with them 2014 with the original Flux. I was still working a full-time job. I was a probation officer looking after criminals and working in the courts and doing all that sort of stuff. I was trying to learn to trade, and suffice to say that I knew there was something about this software that was special, but I just didn't have the time or the patience, and it kind of got put on the shelf for a while, and I carried on working, and it wasn't until 18 months ago, I think a couple of years ago now, that I dug it out again, and was going through videos and the like, and upgraded to the Warp, Very similar, just better. It's Flux on steroids. And haven't looked back since. Now, it's not as simple as, you know, sell on blue and buy on white. You can trade it like that. There are many nuances to the software. And yeah, can you all hear me all right? I just had a comment that it's quite quiet. Can you all hear me okay? Yeah, Paul can. That's great. Anybody else? Is Paul the only one out of 764 of you that can hear me? Yep. Okay, that's fantastic. Great. So yeah, Rob, turn your volume up. Everybody else can hear me perfectly, but thank you for the comment. Okay, where was I? You've thrown me now. Yeah, so and a year ago, Ron asked me if I would run the program for him, and I've been doing that 3 afternoons a week since. So here we go. Right, so back to the future. We are the only company online that gives you the times and directions of the market in advance, give you the trading rules in advance, and then 2 days later we add up the results of signals given to you earlier in the week. So let's have a look at some of those, shall we, and see how we get on. I'm just going to swap over screens. Just bear with me a second. Can you see my ES 3-minute chart? Now, let's do the 5-minute. I'm not going to do every single one of these guys because it would take forever, but we'll have a look at a few of them, and we'll start off with the ES 5-minute that you were given the signals for on Tuesday for Wednesday. Okay. Now then, please bear in mind that you are, or sorry, I am 5 hours ahead of Eastern time. The times that you were given are from Michael. Okay, he's on Eastern time, and I am 5 hours ahead. So if I'm looking at the 11:20 signal here, that's the 6:20 signal that you were given. Okay, are you with me on that one? We're only going to do maybe 2, possibly 3 of these guys because it is tricky with this 5-hour thing, and I don't want to bore you. I know these signals came out in advance, and hopefully you lot can take your times and add or subtract 5 hours from mine. Okay, so let's have a look at the 11:20 signal. It was a selling pressure signal. Okay, so what happened at the close of the bar? It went up. We would have sold. Well, would you have sold? Would you have sold there? Who would have sold here? 11:20. If you had sold here, you'd have taken a little bit of heat, okay, and then you'd have made some money down to the next signal at 12:45. Okay. Let me just say to you that when I trade these, I'm looking for a maximum of probably whatever the average true range is in the morning when I do the UK. But even in the afternoon, I'm sort of shooting for 6 to 10 points. It's not huge, but I'm running a room that needs to make money, because people need to know that they can pay for their subscription to the room, and my goal is to ensure that they can do that every single day that we have the room. So I am doing this on the basis of we sell at the close of the candle, stop goes 2, maybe 3 ticks above the blue dot. Okay, soon as price starts going my way, I will get my stops to break even as quickly as possible. So as you can see, the 11:20 signal was profitable. Coming into 12:45 now. Quite a lot of the time, I will not take signals if they are below the EMA. Okay, let's assume we did take it. We're expecting buying pressure. Okay, what happened? Well, we had to hang around a little bit on this one, but you'd have bought at the close of the candle, and it would have taken you up from 97 3/4 to just 44.04 tops. So no matter how many, I'm not going to count how many points you would have got. You'd have, if you'd have run it to the moon, you wouldn't have made anything. You might have just got your stop to break even. However, if you had held it through there and kept your stop behind the dot, well, you'd have ended up here. But that's not what we're doing. I'm going dot to dot, okay? So 12:45 to 13:40, that's another winner. Okay, 13:40, sell at the close of the bar, down into 14:20, it's another winner. 14:20, buy up the market. Now, I normally do not trade pre-market, okay, but on this occasion, we're going through the signals to see how successful they are. 14:20, we're buying it up, stop below the dot, off it goes. You could have had what's that, 96 right up to 18, so 22 points out of that had you held it. So that's 4 winners so far, guys. Okay, next signal is not until 16:40 on the 5-minute on the ES. Okay, what happened at 16:40? Well, we'd have taken some heat. Okay, we'd have sold at 411.50. Stop goes up at 22.50 to begin with. Price went against us by 6 points before coming in our favor to give us 11 3/4 down to 44.02. So it was a 9-point. Actually, my apologies on that one. You would have been sold at 16:40. Yeah, I mean, you could have played it one of 2 ways. Sold it as soon as it went in your favor, get your stops to break even, and you'd have been stopped out for a scratch, or you could have let it run through the buy at 17.05, and half an hour later you would have made money. So I'm going to put down a scratch trade for that. Yeah, 1 break even. So we've got 4 winners, 1 break even at the moment. 17:35 signal. That's a winner, isn't it, guys? Okay. You had a bit 44.04 up to 44.12. There's another winner. So we've got 5 winners, 1 break even. 18:20. Buying at 44.07. All the way up to 8 o'clock. Wow, it's a big winner. It's a big winner. 44.07 all the way up to 22. So what's that? 15 points? Okay. 6 winners, 1 break even. 8 o'clock. Well, we'll stick to the rules. Selling at 8 o'clock. Another winner. Now, if you'd have got out at 2020, which is, fair enough, it's not a huge winner. It's only a few points. And then if you'd have bought at 2020, you'd have been stopped out. So we've got a loser in there. Okay. We have a loser, our first loser in here. Now, when the market comes into here, puncture trade there, we're still above the EMA. It's nicely upwards. It doesn't close below. It would have stopped me out and closed above. Okay, we know we are in a buying cycle here, 2020. We know we're supposed to be going up until 2055. You're quite within your rights to put a buy stop order in there and push up into 2055. Had you done that, you've got yourself another winner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 winners. Okay. 8 winners, 1 break even, 1 loss. Do we agree with that? Have I been unreasonable in my calculations of the profitability of these signals? Who agrees with my analysis? Participation, please, ladies and gents. I need audience participation. Thanks, Tim. Pretty much, Graham says. Good. Okay. Thanks, Earl. Yep. Bala? Yep. Good. Do you agree with my analysis, Bala? Thanks, Stanley. If I had £1 for every time somebody asked me for my settings, I would be a multi-millionaire. How many times has Michael said that over the years? These are just standard settings, Jerry. I'll give them to you later. Okay, good. So that's the ES 5-minute chart, and that was for today. Okay, let's have a quick look at Wednesday on the ES very quickly. I think I've gone too far. Have I gone too far? I don't know what date I'm on. Just bear with me, guys, a second. So that takes us 10:30 this morning. That's overnight. It's last night. 22nd. Okay, so this is yesterday. This is Wednesday. Okay, let's just start from the open in the morning. Now, over here in the UK, ES doesn't do a lot in the mornings. As you can see, we've got the European Open around this sort of time, 7 a.m. my time, then the UK Open, and most of the trading sort of starts 9:30. Pretty awful price action, to be perfectly honest. This morning, it went up 5 points this morning and came down 6 points, and that was in 2 hours. So, Selling pressure 650 in the morning, down to 755. It's a winner. Okay, 755. Well, would you take that? It's a puncture trade, and then it's back up. If I was here at 755, smack on the London Open, I wouldn't be taking that, but it was still a winner up until 825. At 825, we'd have been selling here, so we would have taken some heat. Okay, we'd have been selling the close of that candle with our stop up here. That would have been a loser, wouldn't it? Would have been stopped out here. Okay, so that was Thursday. This is Wednesday. Got one winner, one loser. Now then, this is a mess. 9:15 up until 10:15. Did it go up? Yes. It went up enough for you to get your stop to break even and get stopped out for break even. So, you know, you could have got 2 points out of it. Yeah, is what it is. It's a scratch trade. 10:15 with selling. We would have been stopped out of the 10:15 signal. We'd have been selling here. Stop just above here. You'd have been looking for a push down into 11:20. You didn't get it. It turned and came up and would have stopped you out. So that's another loser. 11:20. If you'd have taken that signal long, you would have lost money. We are 3 losers, 1 winner, 1 break even. 12:55. Wow. Wow. Sell at 44.32. Stop just above. Look at the risk to reward. Look at the risk to reward. Dot to dot, you'd have been getting out here 20 up to 32, 12 and a quarter points. Hopefully, I didn't count up how much we lost here, but you'd have got your money back. Paul, clarify what you mean. What do I use as break even? Entry plus a tick or 2. Anything that doesn't lose me money. Okay. 12.55, good winner there. 14.15. Well, if you'd have bought it, it went up. If you'd have held your stops here for it to go back up, you would have been stopped out. You could have got your stops to break even. Okay, and been stopped out for break even. The other thing I would say is with the EMA starting to bend over like that, at that sort of time of day, 15 minutes before the open, I wouldn't be trading it. Okay. 14.55 is the next signal. That's down to, well, I've lost my selling signal. 14.55, lost my next white signal. 16.30, that's very strange. I won't count that because I haven't got a time cycle marker. I mean, if we go down to 17.10, I've gone through the 16.30. And I certainly wouldn't have been in the trade that long. So I can't really, it's very unusual. Don't often see that. 14.55, 15.55. So I'm taking this off the bottom, obviously. 44.10. Just scratch trade, isn't it? You might have made something out of it. I'm putting it down as a scratch trade, not a winner, not a loser. Okay, 16.30, price pulls up, your stops in place. You may have been freaked out by the fact that you sold at 13, price has gone up to 21, and you may have got out when it comes back to 11 or whatever. But if you'd have stayed in it with your stop just above, you may or may not have got stopped out. Strictly speaking, 16.30 down to there is a loser. Well, 16, yeah, it was a loser. Okay, 17.10 up to 17.50. Now we're starting, if you look at price structure, we're starting to see double bottoms put in, treble bottoms put in, higher lows coming in, okay? Looking like a change round pattern, change of trend coming in place. 17.10, had you taken that one up to 17.50, you'd have got it to break even. It would have been a scratch trade probably. The close of that bar there, you'd have been out. I don't know if I would personally have taken that 17.10 trade. I'd have to see it on the day. 17.50, well, it's a winner. It's a winner. So we needed that winner. We're 4-2 down. Here's the nice one, the 18.40 trade. Look at that. That's quite sweet, isn't it? Push up straight into 1900. That's a winner. 1900, well, that's a loser. I say it's a loser. Would you take it 1900 to 1910 just below the EMA? Probably not. I don't know. With the structure changing like this, higher lows coming in. Had you taken the long at 1910 up to 1925, that was a winner. And 1925 down to 1940. Well, I think that's 1925. Sorry about that, guys. These two here, 1925, you'd have taken a bit of heat, came back down into 1940. It's a nothing trade, isn't it? It's a scratch, it's a change. You might have lost a tick, you might have gained a tick here or there, but it's another break even. If you're sticking to the time cycle markers. 1940 up until 2015. Well, nope, that's a loser. That is a loser. And pushing down at 2015, you've got a lovely winner there, haven't you? Look at that, all the way down there. Sweet as a nut. A little bit of heat from 22 all the way down to 07. So 15 points. Okay. As I say, I'm basing my stops starting with them just above the dots, okay? I would very rarely leave them there for long. All right. I'm going to stop there on the ES, guys, on the 5 minute. I think we've got Thursdays, which were 2, 4, 6, 8 winners, 1 loser and 1 break even. Wednesday wasn't so good. We've got 2, 4, 6 losers, 4 winners, possibly 5 winners, and 1, 2, 3, 4 break evens. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Sorry, Graham. I don't quite understand your question. Right. Shall we have a look at ES 3 minute? Okay. No, we'll look at that later. Let's do crude oil, shall we? It's crude oil 1 minute. Let's have a look at crude oil 3 minute on Wednesday. So that's what I love about this. It doesn't tell me. There we go, 22nd. So this is the 21st. Let's come through to 8 o'clock in the morning. You guys all right out there? Okay. So again, we've got the open going on with crude. Bit of messing around. 821. What's the first one you guys have got that you were given? That is $239. So this one here. Yep. Yours says 239. Winner or loser? Winner or a loser? Well, it certainly went down. And if you're trading that time of day, I think 44 down to 24, I'll be taking my 20 points. I'm putting that one down as a winner. So this is CL3 min. Okay. 739, 821. Well, you would be buying here, guys, and you'd be losing money. So 1 winner, 1 loser. You take your stop down here. Okay. Now then, 903 sell signal. Whoa, this is some tough luck here, isn't it, guys? You'd have sold here. Well, did price go down? It went down from 51 to 36. There's 15 ticks there. If you're scalping 10 or 15 ticks that time of day, you may have taken it. If you held on to it into the 921 signal, you'd have lost. Okay. So, you know, it all depends how you trade. If you're trading and scalping on a 3 minute chart, 10 or 15 ticks may be enough for you. But technically, time cycle marker to time cycle marker, that is a loser. Okay. personally, I wouldn't let it be a loser. And if you're in the room, neither should you. Okay. Yep, Stanley, I totally agree with you. Can I read that out, Stanley? Is that okay? Stanley says, whenever I can lock in 10 points or so, I tend to forget the next dot as an exit and just grab my money and wait. Good for you. You will never, ever go bust taking a profit. All right. I don't, Bala. I don't trade news. Okay. Good. 921 signal. Well, you know, would you take it? 921? 930 is where things start changing. You're at a double top. However, stick to the rules. It's a loser. Okay. But you can see that this makes money. 942 signal. Selling pressure. Did it go down? Yes. 22 down to 10. That's more than 10 ticks. Okay. Had you held it thinking it's going to go down further, well, you know, you'd have taken some heat, quite a lot, until it came back down again. You would have eventually got out at 10.21 and made a profit. So that one is a winner. 10.21. Well, 10.21. Buying at the close of that bar. 71.10, 71.09. Oh, 40 points it gave you. But if you're holding until what, 10.21, 11 for an hour and 40 minutes, how many of us hold trades on a 3-minute chart for an hour and 40 minutes? No, I'm 40 ticks up. I want my money. I'd probably have taken it out before the EMA anyway. So that is a winner. 12 o'clock trade, selling at 20. Yeah, you wouldn't have made a lot, but you'd have brought it down to here to 12 by the time the next time cycle market comes in. So it is a winner. 12.48. Well, 10 ticks or more, you've got it. But if you hold it until the next, if you hold it for another hour and a half, you'd have been stopped out. So, you know, I've got to put it down as a loser, guys, but you can see what I'm saying. I would never let that become a loser. I would start at 12.48. I would buy it at 71.15 or 16. Okay, my stop would start there. I would take a little bit of heat down to 71.06. What's that? 10 ticks heat before we go from 16 up to 47. Now, I normally think, you know, the 50 is going to be hit. Well, it almost was, but it hit this shelf here and rejected it. But again, had you got out at the EMA, there's 14, 15 points there. Okay. I think it's a little bit unfair to have that as a loser, but technically, time cycle marker to time cycle marker, it's a loser. Okay. It may be a loser under the rules of what I'm doing here, but I don't think you guys would have let it been a loser any more than I would. Okay. 14.15, I wouldn't be trading this. It's 15 minutes after the crude open and 15 minutes before the New York open. Having said that, had we sold it here, would have been stopped out. Okay, there's another loser. 1503. Wow, here we go. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Nice winner there. 1545. Now you can see the trends coming up. The EMA is coming up. You've got a 1545 sell signal. Are you taking it? Personally, no. But under the rules that we're operating, looking at this, I would be watching price action. What is price action doing? It's going sideways. Did we get selling pressure at 1545? Yes. What happened? The market went down into 1612, but not a lot. It's just pausing, isn't it? It's just chopping sideways, ready for the next push up. And you've got plenty of time to see all these up and down bars into 1612, ready for your next long. So 1545 would have sold here. I'll put that down as a break-even trade. I certainly wouldn't have let it be a loser. 1612 up into 1727. That one is a winner. 3, 4, 5, 6. 1727. We've got a little bit of selling pressure into 1800. Scratch trade. Scratch. Another break even. That's that one. And 1800 up to 1815. It's all getting a little bit quiet around this time. You know, little bit of profit. Could have been a scratch trade, could have been a loser. For the purposes of this, I will put it down as a break-even trade. I don't trade that late on in the day anyway. Okay, good. Is that helpful? We had 3, 6, 7 winners, 4 losers, and 4 break-evens. That, you know, you saw how harsh I was on some of the trades that went over 10, 15 ticks into profit. And as Stanley said earlier on, if he had a trade like that, he'd have, on a 3-minute chart, taken his money and been out. Okay, these time cycle markers work, gentlemen. Okay, they work very well. My biggest hurdle was learning to be patient and let them work themselves out. Again, that's not to say that I won't take 10 or 15 points off the table. I will, on a 3-minute chart. Okay, good. So, how are you all feeling out there? All good? So that's that. Let's have a quick look at. We'll move away just to have a look at some of the charts now. We've done ES 5-minute. We'll have a quick look at the signals today on the ES 3-minute. So if I go back to the start of my day, you'll see just how boring it was. And, you know, it was just chopping around, not doing a lot. Okay, went on for ages. It went up 5 points, it came down 6 points. All right, this here was the low of the London Gold session that opens at 8:20 in the morning. Okay, she came down eventually at midday and put in that low, and we were long from the open and had a very, very good trade on the ES today. I'll show you where it came in a second. But just looking at that in the morning, you can see she pushed up to the EMA, pushed slightly above, came down, puts in the double bottom. Okay, you guys are then awake and you're up and things start to happen. Okay, she again pushes these lows, and don't forget, all of this is the opening ranges of London and Europe. Okay, so when we get to here, you've got to push up through all of those areas. But by that time, it was showing a willingness to do that. You know, it had a few candles that said, yeah, I'm going to go lower, going to go lower. But we had, if you looked on the daily, we had, I'll bring in the daily. There's the daily chart. 1, 2, 3, 4 down candles. All right, that's a lot. That's a big retracement. So it kind of makes sense that we had a bit of a push up today. All right. Okay. Where was I? So into the open. This is what we caught today. I would never take a 1436 signal on a sell at the open. It's too close to the open. It's too whippy. This is exactly why I stay out. However, if you were in there, you got stopped out. Okay. And there was trend continuation up into the highs. I guess for me, I was holding from, well, I wasn't holding. I'd taken some. I didn't trade during the open. I got long as a result of this sort of puncture trade, breaking the session highs from London and Europe. Yeah, that's really why I got long. I was also trading the NQ as well. So pushing up into 1636, had you taken it on the bar, you'd have been stopped out. But I ask you to use some wisdom, guys. Having seen an ABCD push up like that, an impulse leg like that, the market is long. The EMA has curled up. All right. Do you want to be selling it at 1636 when all the signs are that price wants to move up? She's broken above the ranges. They've held. You know, if you plot your ranges at the beginning of the day, you can see. You come in the room and I'll teach you all this. I'll show you, and I'll show you a lot of other things as well. A lot of patterns that we use in the room that we're not showing tonight. I'm trying to keep it simple, but if you stuck with trend trades, you made money today. You know, you'd have made a good wedge on this puncture trade. All right. 1657 up into 1736, a bit in the evening, and then that last one 1833 all the way up to 1945. Okay. When you start to see price bashing on this dotted line, okay, when you start to see that, and you've sold it at 1436, if you took that signal and you see that, and then the whip backwards and forwards, and it's not pushing through quickly, get out of the trade, or you will end up doing what I do and getting upside down, which is never any fun because then you got to sit and wait for it to come back. All right, so that's the ES today. Crude oil on the 1 minute. Where were we today? Let's have a quick look there. Crude oil. So my open this morning, she's chopping around a very flat EMA. Okay, not a lot going on. A little bit of up and down, and things start to heat up at 9:15. Okay, had you traded this, you'd have got chopped up. All right, a few little losers in there. 906, what happens at 906? Well, the market shoots up. Now, one of the things we teach in the room is you be very, very careful on all time frames, especially at 9 o'clock to 9:30 in the morning. Buying bars at buying times. We have a lot of success in the room selling these, and the risk is so low. Okay, all you've got to do is put your stop just above the top at 66 and sell it. And we do it all day long in the room. Buying bars at buying times, selling bars at selling times is a buy. All right, at least for one bar, at least for long enough for you to get it to break even, to see if it rolls over. I wouldn't be taking this trade at 9:06. It's too early in the morning for me. 9:30 onwards is what I really look for if I'm going to trade crude. I want it to work all this rubbish out. 9:30, we start moving down. Trend signals, well, you could have rode that for 72.30 all the way down to 71. Yeah, I mean, that's trade of the day, isn't it? Trade of the day. Trend trade with trend all the way down from 72.30, 71.30, 130 ticks. All right. Now, the one we did get, I'll show you what we did get later on in the day. And we did make money off crude earlier on. I took, where was it? It was this one here. And now, the other thing that I teach in the room are to look out for waves. Okay. It's better on a higher time frame chart, a 3 or 5 or maybe even a 15-minute chart. But this little move in here is the wave 1 and wave 2, and all this is wave 3 down here. This here is a wave 4 pullback. We sold short from about 70.40, and unfortunately I only got 20 ticks of it. 70.40, it knocked me out, I think, on a retrace somewhere up here and just went off straight down, wave 5 completion, and carried on. So lovely day trading crude today. I don't know about you lot. Crude on the 3-minute, well, we've just covered what crude did today. On the 1-minute, I wonder if I can make it any clearer for you. Yeah, possibly. So there's that same mess this morning. You might not have been able to identify this as a wave 1 and 2. All I can say is that, because they are always very, very tricky to identify. All I can say is that this candle here broke this low, and you had 1 retest, 2 retests, 3 retests, and that effectively created the wave 1 here and wave 2 there. That gave you the beginning of the downtrend. Now, unfortunately, on the crude, it is not showing a time cycle marker, but on the 5-minute, what a great entry at 11:10. Yep. And off she goes. 11:10 entry on the 5-minute. Your stop just above there. You wouldn't have looked back. Off it goes. Trend is already getting established here. Is it established there? What do you know there? At that point in time, you know that this low here, look left, has been broken and retested, and it's holding. You've got a buy signal here that it ignores. Okay, next sell signal 11:10, off to the races. Okay, hope that helps. YM, what's the YM been doing today? 3 minute, 8:10 this morning. Well, let's look at the with trend signal, shall we? This is my morning, 10 o'clock, 10:06, still chopping sideways, not doing a lot, and things start to cook at 11:20. Sell signal, nice winner there. Let's just stick to the trend signals. 13:39, I wouldn't have taken it there. You could have taken it when it's back below the EMA. Wouldn't have made a lot. You're coming into the open. It's lunchtime. Do you really want to be trading that time? Then there's the big mess around. I don't trade the YM in the room. I trade the NQ, crude, and the ES. So 15:03 sell signal. Well, if you'd have taken these dot to dot, you'd have had a few losers, and some good winners. Okay, and some good winners. But trend signals alone, you'd have got something out of that one. Got to wait until it's you can't trade the trend when the EMA is flat like that. So it's a case of you either adopt an approach of buy the lows and sell the highs, or you wait until the EMA starts to make a move. And this was all pretty much range bound today, wasn't it? Not a lot of movement on the YM. I'm glad I don't trade the YM. I don't like the look of that. Gold, what's gold been doing? On the 5 minute, again, we don't trade it in the room. Could do if there was enough requests for it. 905 signal, very nice sell there down into 930. 945, here's an example of what I mean, a selling bar at a selling time. It's also a puncture trade. What did it do? Straight in your face, straight back up. Selling bar, selling time. Yeah, back to the trend trades one. Well, depends where your stop is on that one. If your stop was just above the dot, then you're out. If you kept your stop above the EMA, then you'd have stayed in for a while longer. 1305. Yeah, it was a winner there, but that's not a trend trade. I wouldn't have been taking that sort of a trade. I don't like gold because it doesn't do a lot and then it does everything, you know. Earl, take care. Okay, I think we've got to move on. I think I've been talking too long, guys. Do we agree that these signals are very, very good? The only company online that gives you the times and directions in advance, and yeah, you can see that these are the slides that Michael uses. You can see, I'll just move forward in these. As there's been new creations, new things, you know, Back to the Future came up with the idea of what if we could put time cycle markers in these places of stars. Jack Schwager, author of The New Market Wizards. My experience with The 36 interviews conducted for this book and its predecessors leaves me with a little doubt that the random walk theory is wrong. Now, the signal is raw information. The setup is and specific trade rules, which we have. There's a lot more rules to this that you can learn. What I've shown tonight is very, very basic. Come into the room, join us. We have had 2 losing weeks in the last 12 months. Okay. And how many of you, just a show of hands, have not got the software but are seriously considering purchasing it today? Show of hands, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Come on, guys and girls. I haven't got all night. Anybody? Anybody? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You want to see gold in a longer time frame? Mm-hmm. What time frame would you like, Graham? Let's have a look. Come on, guys. A lot of you aren't. Not all of you have got the software. Which ones? You've got the software, haven't you, Graham? There's gold 60-minute. Look at that. 8 o'clock this morning. Sell signal. Bang. Wow. Now that's a bit weird. 8 o'clock in the morning. Then. Oh, I see. I see. Got it. Yeah. Andrew, have you got the software? Brad. George. Not all you guys have got the software. What's holding you back? You like it, Andrew? Have you been in the room, Andrew? I think you have, haven't you? Come on back. We have got a great little trading room. Not so little these days, actually. Ladies and gentlemen, Graham, you want the 240 as well, do you? No, it's the first time I've done a Thursday, Andrew. I've been with Back to the Future trading for a year. Ron, well, a lot longer than that, since 2014. But Ron asked me a year ago if I'd run the program for him. So yeah, I've been doing that for him. And then Michael deserved a holiday. We decided we've got to kick him out of the office and go and get some fresh air. So he asked me if I would cover the room while he's away, and I said yes. I had no idea the amount of people that come into these webinars on a Thursday night. I mean, it's staggering. Oh, absolutely, Andrew. Couldn't agree more. And who would not say that one of the biggest battles, I think I've already said it earlier on, one of the biggest battles in trading is patience. Patience, we want to take our money, and I'm as bad or as good as the next man, but you won't go bust taking your profit. So if we all had hundreds of thousands in the bank, we'd all be trading daily time frames, and be able to let these swings happen. When you're trading lower time frames, it's hard. But my goal in the room is to make sure that it pays every day for your subscription monthly. So if you want to come back in, please do speak to David. I'm sure you're all familiar with him. And whether you've got the software, thinking of getting the software, if you've got the software, come and sign up for the room. If you haven't got the software, get the software and sign up for the room. All right, come and make some money. And we all know the risks. It's a game of managing the risks and pushing forward for the rewards. There will be good times and there will be bad times. Okay. But at the end of the day, we are coming out ahead week by week. And as I said earlier on, this week we've done just about 3,300. Okay, good. So, is trading a guess about the past or the future? Okay. Knowing when in the future, which is proactive versus reacting all the time using lagging tools. Okay. We all know that the playing field is unfair, unlevel. We know that the Morgan Stanleys, the Citigroups, the Credit Suisse, the Merrill Lynch's, Goldman Sachs, as they say, those with the gold rule. And with these institutional quality time cycle markers, I think I've shown you tonight that it's more than a profitable system. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to pass you over to David, and he will give you the details of Warp for anybody who's interested in purchasing the software or coming back into the room. And don't be shy, speak to him, reach out to him. As they say, there's always a deal to be done. We are traders. We like a bit of bartering, not too much. So do speak to David. David, are you there? I'm just going to...
yes, Colin. Yeah.
Just going to hand over to David now. Just bear with me a second. It's been an absolute pleasure. Many thanks. So many people turning out today. I hope to see you either in the room or back here next week. All right. Okay. Bye for now. Thanks, Graham.
Okay. How's everybody doing? Yeah, thanks, Colin. That was a great webinar. And for those that do not have the software, you're basically, you can go to backtothefuturetrading.com to our website, and you will see on the main page the product store, and you'll hit that. That'll bring us over to our TachEon TimeWarp, Aurora, Optimus, and the Force program. But the one that Colin was showing is this one, the TachEon TimeWarp. You hit the Learn More button, and that should get you, let me see here, down to the Buy Now button is what we're looking for. Got a little information and some of Michael's videos, but you're looking for the orange Buy Now. So you'll hit that. It's normally the 2,500. And then here, Colin was talking about, him running the room. If you want, the room, we do a special when you're brand new. It's only 149 for that first month with the warp. And so if you want that, you can just click the buy now. So it's instead of 195, it's 149, or you can go to the checkout without the pro room. And we'll do that. And then of course we've got our purchase agreement. All sales are final. Your people always ask on the computers, and I know Michael always says, if you have a computer 5 or 6 years or newer, it's going to work. It doesn't really need a lot, but I mean, if you have a nice fancy computer, that's fantastic. So once you do all that, you read it, click there, and it'll bring us to the shopping cart. And what you're looking for is obviously the promo code, and we're doing warp off, WARPOFF. So the 24.95 magically becomes 19.95. We're giving you 500 off, and that gives you 2 full licenses of the program. They're lifetime licenses. You can load them on a computer, at the home or the office, 2 home computers, laptop, your main computer, whatever you want to do. And anytime if you do want to change and move that to another computer, you get a brand new computer, a new laptop, just let us know. We can get that moved for you. It's a very simple process. And then also installation. A lot of customers buy in the afternoon or their evenings, install it themselves. But if you want to, Rachel on our team, she's been with us over 10 years, and she will definitely help you get installed. White glove installation. She'll send you a link. You can get on her calendar, and she'll do all the work for you if you so desire. So you have that, and that's basically it on the rest of the products. I know Michael, if some of you had done the Edge event, we did May 1 and May 2, those new plugins. There's something else that, if you want to, maybe you didn't get that, I think we're going to run a special on that also. So that's something else to consider. But yeah, to get to the warp, just follow those easy steps. You'll get an email with your license key, and then email with your login to the members area, and that'll have all the training videos online, the software, the downloads, and then if you're a member and you do join the pro room, your recordings, because everything is in the pro rooms Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday with Colin, 8 a.m. Eastern to 11:30 Eastern, and they are recorded. So if you're different time frames or you watch for a half hour or an hour, but it is a great way to learn. And I always think everyone in the beginning, it's a great tool. So, and also you can follow along. Colin will answer questions and definitely helps you get up to speed faster and making money faster. That's what it's all about. So that's it. I appreciate everyone here today, and I don't have any fancy slogan that Michael usually sends off with, but I know this software is amazing in having the time predictions. And I've seen, and I've talked with a lot of you here that are online, and then some others that are not. And it always seems that it's always made, our customers, whether they've been trading for a long time or a short period of time, a better trader. They tend to trade less. They tend to stay with the winners a little bit longer, and we get out of the losers a little faster. And that's all part of the training process that we have, that you'll learn and go through videos. And if you do the pro room, which in turn makes you a better consistent trader and also makes you a profitable trader. But thank you, and thanks, Colin, and hope everyone has a great evening. And that'll do it. Take care.